Welcome back to the channel. I am building a tiny board for Broadway in Nashville because I have decided I'm going to start playing down there again. As you guys have seen from previous videos of mine, I like to have rather large boards. I can't do that on Broadway. Broadway is not good for that. Let me show you exactly what's going on here. So this is my Metro 24. I'm going to use the HX. So this is a preamp. The Peace Hill Effects ODS tube. I talked about that again in previous videos. What I've actually figured out that I can do, so this does not have amp simulation on it, but it does have IRs. It has cab sim. So I'm going to run this into one of the loops on here. If you guys aren't familiar here, it has 2 send and returns. So I'm going to run this in one of the loops, and I'm going to digitally move it to the very end of the chain right before the IRs so that I can use this board direct, or I can bypass this and use it with an amp if I want. For those who don't know, a lot of the venues in Nashville on Broadway specifically are what are called silent stages now. They want full control over everything. A lot of them don't have amplifiers anymore. So I've got to have something that is going to still give me my favorite guitar sounds, whatever. This is a real tube preamp. So I've already tested it out. It sounds amazing. I will definitely give you guys an example of what's going on here. This is a custom Wampler pedal that's kind of a really light overdrive. It's been pretty much my go-to for about 12, 13 years now, I guess. And this is from my buddy Eddie Haddad and Messiah Guitars. And this is the Eddie Boost Drive. And this is a session edition, so it's a little different. But I'll put a link in the description below so you can actually see it. And obviously I got my Bad Cat Jet Black switcher right there because when I do get to use my amp, that is what I will be using. All right, so let's get this thing put together. Now, to be clear, in the past, I've always used this pedal board as kind of a demo board, meaning like a board that I just don't really worry about making it look pretty. So I've got to test it out, make sure it's good to go. And as soon as I give it the all good, I'll strip everything off, clean it up, actually solder wires where they need to be to length and everything else. But for now, I think I want to go test it out. All right, so I'm playing a Telecaster bridge pickup, and that's mainly what I'm going to be running on Broadway for the most part, just because it's really versatile, and that's why most guys play them. I am running completely direct to my computer right now through my interface, mono, and this is absolutely nothing on. This is the cab sim. And this is with the preamp. So clearly that makes a massive difference. Now, you could run pretty much any preamp that you want in here. I chose to run this one because it is a point-to-point tube preamp, and I absolutely love it. It's one of the best things I've ever purchased. They're not cheap, but they're worth every freaking penny. I love them. All right, so let me show you this again. This is no cab sim and no preamp with an overdrive. And this is, to me, when you start adding drives in the mix, this is where you really tell the difference in having a preamp or and an IR or a cab or running a real amp versus going direct without all of that stuff. Because you're going to get this real weird kind of fuzzy, gritty. I really don't know how to describe it, honestly, but I mean, you can hear it. So even just running the cab sim with it makes a difference. It takes that top end fizz off of it, and then you add your preamp, and then it's a huge difference. Let's try the boost drive because it's a little more gain there. This is the boost drive without the amp and cab sim. Just the preamp, no cab sim. Alright, now let's start to add in some reverb. Delay. We'll do some delay without reverb. So I'm just going to take a second and run you guys through the HX editor software and just show you how I have this one specific patch set up, just to explain how I've set everything in the loops. Okay, so as you can see here, there are 2 spaces before the loop, the first loop that starts. The first loop is my overdrives, and then there is a volume, which I can add in like an external expression pedal. And then I've got chorus, delay, reverb, and then this effects loop is my preamp, and then your IR after that. So what I'll probably end up doing is somewhere like I'll end up, because I'm going to be using the IRs and the preamp full time. I'm not going to turn those off at all. I'll probably hide those on the face of the HX so that I can free that up to actually be spaces for me to have other effects that I can pull in and out of the chain. I definitely will put probably a compressor before the drives there, and honestly, like I'm weird. I'll throw weird envelope filter or auto wah stuff in the middle of country songs, so I'll probably put one of those in there too. But yeah, this was just an easier way to show you guys what's going on. So, you can move these around. If you have an HX and you don't have the HX edit, you should absolutely get that, because it opens up a whole world of possibilities, and it just lays everything out in black and white and just makes it so much easier. So I hope you guys have liked this video. If you have, please subscribe. Check out previous videos. I did a video a few weeks ago on my massive studio board. And I will just keep throwing videos up there, so hopefully I will see you guys soon.